G'day mate, welcome back to Captain Ministry with me, Jitty. Today, we're about to embark on a mega project. A mega project that's going to span a couple of episodes, like a lot of episodes, I figure. It's probably going to be a 3-part mini-series, 4-part mini-series, but as always, I need to thank you guys. I need to thank you guys for liking the videos. I need to thank you for subscribing to the channel. I need to thank you guys for not only watching the tutorial videos, but coming over to Let's Play. Seeing all the little tidbits I throw in, like how we built the farms, where everything is very, very streamlined. You won't find that in a dedicated tutorial video, because there's just no need. It won't fill up a whole video. But with that out of the way, first thing I need to do is I need to actually thank Daniel. I need to thank Daniel. I get to pronounce the last name. Maslagin. I'm going to go with Maslagin. Yeah. Thank you, Daniel, for becoming a YouTube member. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for keeping the channel ad-free. Yeah. Thank you for throwing in at least $1 a month. $1 a month. That's all I ask, to keep the channel ad-free. So, with Daniel thanked, and he now has a permanent truck, we have a few things we need to do. As we can see, this is my list of research we need to talk about. Today, we're going to be talking about organic fertilizer. That's going to be the first one on the list, because when we found the wheat seeds, one of the two. Wheat seeds. We found the wheat seeds. We got access to this recipe here, which turns biomass into compost. Okay, and it now means I can enable this machine. This machine we set up episode before, which is Biomass Collection. Okay, it's going to take the food scraps from the people and convert it into, well, compost. Right beside the poop we're taking from the people, we're converting into compost because, you know, the sludge has to go somewhere. We also now have access to organic fertilizer. So if I plug one of these guys on the end, we can now turn a lot of compost into organic fertilizer, which we have a decent amount of organic compost currently. And I'm going to plug one of those in there. Now, I don't have any need for organic compost. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but I'm going to grab it anyway. Okay, we might set up a standalone farm somewhere that's just going to use... Please stop it. Okay, that tile. Height 2. Yes, there. And plug that in there. Okay. We may, sometime in the future, set up a dedicated farm that's going to use organic compost. It's just one less thing that the trucks have to dump in the sea, which should fix the stable problem. Because at the moment it's stable, but I'm probably about to give them about 15 projects to do, and it's going to be less than stable. So it's just another thing that they don't have to dump. We can convert it onto fertilizer, and then we'll work out what to do with the fertilizer, or at the very worst, we can go back to dumping it in the sea. Now, as for fertilizer, I can't put it into the fertilizer line here because you can't mix fertilizer 1 and fertilizer, well, organic fertilizer and fertilizer 2 in the pipes and in the farms. So what ended up happening is I have to back up in the pipe like here-ish, and then eventually a farm would drain all its fertilizer, and then it could go in, which would work sort of, but is again less than ideal. That's better. So the other thing we might notice with our wonderful farm system is we can't store all the potatoes, and we can't store the veggies, and we can't store the potatoes, and we can't store the veggies. There are things I can do about that, but they're things that I can't do anything about right now, and I won't be able to do anything about it until we get a few more bits of technology. We have soybean farming on the research because we found soybeans on the world map. We have chicken farms being researched. When we get to chicken farms, we can probably do something about that excess food by turning a whole bunch of it into animal feed. In the meantime, I'm going to add to our research just the last few pieces, because there's only a couple of pieces of research that we haven't sort of ticked off for this tier. Obviously, there's still going to be canola, which I need to find on the world map, and fruit, which I need to find on the world map. But after we've done those, we've finished this section of the tech tree, and we can step up to research lab level 4, along with lab equipment level 3, which we need to do a few things before we get to this tech, or this level of tech. Yeah, there's a few things we need to handle. So, on that gets rid of that one off the list. On the list of things we need to handle is remove boost. Is steel. Steel I have a problem with. The problem being is I don't have enough of it. We have 60 odd in this machine. I have 0 in this machine. If you remember last episode, I actually had to boost everything, including the smokestacks, because like when they're boosted, they output twice as much. We've got a single smokestack. It's not a good scenario. I had to boost everything. Because we needed more steel. Because we're consuming a decent amount of steel in vehicle parts, because we're upgrading all the vehicles. Also in science. Also, we're consuming it over here to make maintenance. Okay? Well, to make mechanical parts to make maintenance. And it's caught up now, which is great. But if I want to keep progressing at the rate we're progressing, we need to do something about this. I need to improve this system. I need to improve that system, which we could do over there. But honestly, I'd like to rebuild it. I'd like to move it closer to the production center, rather than having the trucks drag things across. Okay? It's just about those little optimizations, which are going to save me time in the long run. At the same time, I want to rebuild iron, because I want to upgrade that, because we have access to advanced smelting. We just rebuilt concrete, so concrete's fine. We just built glass, but again, I'd like to upgrade that to advanced smelting, and I'd like to do copper with advanced smelting. So there's a few upgrades I like to do. So if I'm going to upgrade all the smelters, I'm thinking we might move the production center, now we have all this clear space, to here. Which means, can I borrow an excavator off here and throw an excavator on here? Which means I want to flatten this area. I'm also going to assign you every blue track under the sun, and I have 11. We've assigned 11, so all the blue trucks should come over here, and then we'll get to sort out which ones from which ones. You're called pickup, go away. You're called pickup, go away. You're called pickup, go away. And pick up, and that's fragga beefy, and that's a pickup. And we'll assign 2 yellow trucks instead. So that means I'm pretty sure I have just 1 blue truck left, and also hopefully an excavator. Oh, he's already over here. Great. Who is just going to flatten out this little area. There's a little bit of stuff sticking up. I just want to flatten it out. Also, at the same time, I want to remove everything between there and there. I want to remove all that stuff. We're going to need the clear space because I need to do a few things. One of the things I need to do is I need to scrap more vehicles. Last episode, we had our 2 harvester boys. They'd done a wonderful job. They'd harvest all the trees, and now we're going to go to 1 harvester boy. The catch is I need to get up to this plateau to get rid of these trees. I need to get down to this plateau to clear all these trees. I also need to get up to this plateau to clear all these trees. So I need to get some excavators to come across and help. What I want to do is I've set the limestone guys over here to come do this limestone. But up here is actually another limestone deposit. So we're going to have them just carve through the corner of the map. And I'm going to assign them some extra trucks because it's going to be a long way away. It's a long way away, which means the trucks have to do a long drive. So hopefully some extra trucks will help. Can I just cancel your dig orders for just this second? Yeah, and now you go away? Yes, beautiful, beautiful. So we're going to send those guys off to dig that instead. Now, I am going to have to set up an alert. Let's go with this one. Alert. Notify me if 50% empty. Hopefully that covers me. But yeah, they're going to have to go off and they're going to have to dig that. Once they've got up to that first level, then we can send the harvester boy up to deal with this. Then I'm going to have them come dig, mining down to this level. Then we can have the harvester boy deal with this. And then there's another one over here, which we're just going to send in some dedicated new team to go deal with. All right. So that's that problem. That's that problem. Next problem we need to deal with is trucks. I obviously just scrapped a whole heap. I have currently 20 big excavators. We're going to go up to 25. And then I'll have room for 5 more trucks. So we're going to go with 25 plus 5. And I have 3 little ones that we're going to get rid of. So, well, that maxes out. All right. You have no area to be mined. Great. You're all done? You are all done. All the areas flat. Hang on. We'll just confirm. Haven't left anything else hanging out. Because if it's not flat, I can't build on it. Okay, yeah, that's the coastline. The coastline's going to be horrible. We don't care. We're not going to be building anything on the coastline. Alright, so that fixes that one. It means I can release Fragger Beefy and the 2 trucks and assign the digger back to this job. Alright, next thing we need to make sure is over here. We're going to just keep clear cutting through this corner. Like I said before, the more we can cut it out, the better the shorter transport routes that the trucks can have. So we're just going to clear cut out that whole mountain. This will give me 3 tiles. I just want 3 tiles. 3 tiles down the side of the farm should be heaps for them to pathfind through. Yep, that's 3 tiles. So we're going to set them to do that. Great. Don't need to worry about those for a while. Alright, what I do need to worry about is rebuilding this over here and the fact that they're still full of water. Okay, we need a water dump. I'm going to build, and somebody's going to yell at me for this, but it's the only way to deal with it, because all the water systems are closed and positive, and I don't really have anywhere water gets taken to. No, not a big one. A little one right there, and we're going to set you to be water and dump. Yeah, I'm just going to have a water dump, and we're just going to take the water and just dump it in the sea. It's how we make sure that the sea levels don't fall. Yeah, I don't have anywhere where we're actually importing water. Everything is, like, these guys are attached directly to water pumps. That's turned off. That's attached directly to a water pump. The farms, we desalinate the water. The acid comes from a water pump, 2 water pumps, which is overkill for what it is now. But we're about to add a whole much more stuff to it, so it'll be fine. But yeah, we'll just empty this stuff from there to there. Once it's gone to there, it's done. All right. So with that out of the way, I need to talk about the plan. The plan is going to be a long plan. It's going to be a complicated plan. So grab your popcorn, grab your seat, pay attention, because I'm only going to go over this once. First thing I want to do is I want to reassign you to those tiles, and you are so full of other crap that I can't unload my crude oil anymore. So that's empty. That's a shame. I don't know what to do about that. There's nothing I can do about that. I've got 4 bits of impure copper. Chuck import on. Maybe somebody will bring some impure copper over here and dump it in the system. I doubt it. Alright, what we want to do is I currently, and this is my playstyle, because I'm shooting as a YouTube series, I have a large stockpile for parts, okay? These are only level 1 storage, but they're 180 parts each. The construction part 2 is 3 of them at 360 each, which is like 1,200 parts. We're going big. So I'm going to have unit storage. I'm going to have a unit storage number 3, which is going to hold 2,000 parts. 2,000 parts of each of the different construction parts, because I need to make sure that when we do an episode, as you've seen, Unity build everything, and we build a fair bit in a hurry. Okay, so I want to make construction parts, and here we were going to go part 1 to part 2 to, in theory, part 3, because this is upgradable. I could take the existing module and just add more to it, and that was the original plan, but as I have to rebuild everything, we're going to rebuild everything. Okay, so I'm actually going to do construction part number 3, all the way up here, which is, can I see belts? Which is going to output into here, and it's going to have its 2 inputs come from below, obviously. And I want Shift C, I want 2 of them, okay? Then I want construction part number 2, and I want 2 tiles. Please tell me that's 2 tiles. That is 2 tiles. Okay, I want a 2 tile gap between them, and then I want you to do parts number 3, okay? Because obviously we're going to need 12 parts 2 to make 1 parts 3. I need 12 parts 2 to make it parts 3. So I have these 2 run these 2 machines, plus I have a bonus one to go into storage, okay? Then I want to do the exact same again. I want to make sure I have a 2 tile gap, and go here, and you're going to do parts 1, okay? Again, I've got an extra machine to make sure I have extra products, okay? Let's hook up some belts. So I'm going to skip out on most of the belts because it's going to be a lot of rinse and repeat. Okay, so that's going to be the 3 parts in. All right, then this is just a giant warehouse. The only thing I do want to do with my giant warehouse is actually so you need electronics. Electronics are going to come from over here at height number 1. and they'll plug into there, and into there, and into there. Okay, my parts number 1 are going to come... Try again. My parts number 1 are going to come out. They're going to go into machine number 1, plus they're going to go into machine number 2, plus they're going to go into machine number 3. Okay. And that's my electronics. Okay. What I want to do is I want to have a booster belt. And I will be referring to it as a booster belt. Can I don't want you to connect. I really... Fine. No, I do not connect. Fine, go one top past. Yeah, and leave. And then I cannot add that on. But I should be able to do that. Great. Alright, I want to have a booster belt. Okay? And hopefully that's not going to be built as a solid piece. I need it to be built as a solid belt. Perfect. And that should be hopefully facing the right direction. I'm going to pause that belt. That's a booster belt, okay? The idea is we're going to fill this up with construction part number 1. And then eventually, if I need construction part 2, and I unity boost these machines, I'm not going to actually have enough output from these machines unless I boost them as well. But if I unpause a booster belt, we can empty the storage back into the belts and start running these machines, okay? That's going to be the plan. So same story here. You're going to go output, 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 and then you'll come into here along with 3 tiles out into here with... I ran the belt that way and it worked. Yeah. Along with a booster belt to come in, and we're going to pause that as well. Okay. So that's our parts, our mechanical parts, our construction parts. We need you... it's 5 tiles, right? To get the drops. I think it is. What are we beeping about? I don't know what it's beeping about. Alright, could not store potatoes. We don't care. It's 5 tiles. Let me just double check because I'm having a moment. Yeah, it's 5 tiles. Alright, actually, you know what? Flip. Now it's facing the right way even. Okay, we need the 3 parts, okay? We need iron, wood, and concrete slabs. It means I need to rebuild iron. Iron, we're going to build low. I'm going to actually build steel at the top, okay? Because we're going to need steel for these machines. So we're going to bring steel around the top. It means I'm going to build iron low. Wood is going to come in from a storage container. At the same time, we're down to 10k wood, which means I need to plan ahead, and we're going to need to get a cargo depot. There. Cargo depot with loose storage. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a cargo depot right here to unload wood, because we're going to have to turn on the sawmill to get wood eventually. I need to plan for it, because when we run out of wood, we still need a lot of wood to still make construction part 1. Got to remember, every 1 wood for 1 construction part 1, but that means it's 2 wood for construction part 2 and 4 wood for construction part 3, because the whole diminishing returns thing. So we still need a lot of wood. Okay, so that's going to be our construction parts. Eventually we'll get construction part 4 that'll obviously tack on the top. Alright, so next thing we have from this assembly is I have a whole bunch of machines making mechanical parts. They're going to be important. We're going to need those, and I'm going to go a little bit extreme, I think. We're going to go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, I'm going to go for 5 of them. Okay, also want another warehouse. Again, having a buffer never hurts. And we're going to go big warehouses because we can. Like, I'm planning here for... I do not want to redesign this ever again. I want to be done with this one last time. Well, at least this stage of it. Okay, so they're going to do mechanical parts, that recipe. Which again, like I said, I'm planning on bringing steel in at the top. So the steel's just going to come along. It'll feed into these. It'll feed into these. At the same time... Flip... Sure. I want a 2 tile gap. We're going to need to do electronics. That one. Which is going to need copper. Now, copper is up here. Obviously, I have to route it down and in, but I need to bring in copper. I'm also going to need to bring in rubber, which is still made on the right-hand side. This is why we have a 2 tile gap in these builds, so I can take copper or a rubber or whatever belt I have to bring in from the wrong side, take it in between these gaps of these two warehouses, up 1 or 2 tiles high, or even 3 tiles high, drag it all the way across into the different belts. Okay, so you guys need electronics. That belt didn't connect. Nope. There we go. You guys need electronics. Okay, so that sort of implies that I need to do something. No, I need to do that. I was right. It goes there. All right. We need to get electronics, which means electronics need to come out here. Can I add... We'll just add some of these belts. So we're going to have copper and rubber. So copper's going to come in from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And rubber is going to come in from the right. I'm pretty sure we can make that drop. At least I hope so, because I've already put in the belts. No. Damn. Alright. Actually, let's just start again. We want a flat conveyor. 3 tiles into there. And into there. Copy. Paste. Paste. And paste. Okay. Then rubber in above all the way to there. And rubber will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so rubber obviously needs to come in at this time. Now I can always have them do a little zigzag when they get into the right line. That's something we can work out the details later, because now we can copy and paste. Now we can copy and paste. We can definitely readjust things multiple times before we pull the trigger and say build it. Okay, trucks. Let's deal with some trucks, because I should have some extra diggy boys looking for some jobs. I do. Okay, so I need to replace you guys, and you're going to get scrapped, you're going to get scrapped, and you're going to get scrapped. Okay, so that's done with those. We're still going to have more coming out. All right, so that's that one. Let's very quickly deal with this. This is steel. It's only steel, so it's literally bring it in with the F button on so the belts run flat. Bring it in, in, and in. Okay, that's steel dealt with. That's mechanical parts dealt with. That's electronics dealt with. All right, so electronics. Electronics, after they come out, and mechanical parts, they both have multiple things that they need to do. Okay, we're going to bring you out level underneath the machine. I want you to come up 1 level and go above the electronics belt. Okay, because they both have certain jobs that they need to do. One of the jobs that they need to do is science. Science is here, which needs a whole bunch of mechanical parts and a whole bunch of a whole bunch of mechanical parts and a whole bunch of electronics. Is that right? That's copper. Height 2, copper in, and height 1, and in there. Okay. I'm trying to save every tile I can to try and keep the builder as small as possible, because we've got a lot we need to fit in. So we're going to bring in mechanical parts from the bottom belt, top belt, doesn't matter which one's which, and basically I just need you to plug in there. I don't care how you do it. Actually, I do care how you do it, because I need to take those mechanical the electronics onto this feed-in belt. Or we have a separate feed-in belt. Which one was... So electronics is the bottom belt. Okay, no, we need to be have a little bit of panache with this. All right, so this is electronics, which needs to feed in and connect into the here. So this is as easy as 1, 2, 3 plugged in, which means our science machine is probably going to have to slide out another tile, so we can get mechanical parts. You won't do anything better than that for me. RF, no. Okay, fine. Slide another tile. Yep, from there to there. Okay, a little bit of waste of space, but we'll just accept it. All right, so you're going to output lab parts 1. Now, lab parts 1 go into lab parts 2. Lab parts 2 requires lab equipment and liquid nitrogen. Requires 24. We're making 48, so we can do 2 of these, not a problem. So this is going to have to come out. We know we need a 3-tile gap to get the other belt item in. I'm going to bring in you in there and in there. Copy that recipe from there to there, and this will give us our science out there and there. Now I need to bring in either steel plus nitrogen, and where are we? In a chemical plant. It's a chemical plant. I need to bring in nitrogen and steel to make liquid nitrogen here, and we'd make 12, and conveniently we need 12 to run these 2 machines. But as part of our steel build, where we already have steel, we need oxygen to run the oxygen furnaces, which means we have a waste product of nitrogen, which means in the original build that I shared with you guys, again, I'll link the top right hand corner if you want to see the original steel build, there was included in it a chemical plant that made liquid nitrogen, and our plan is going to go back to that system. Okay, here it made sense to bring down those 2 pipes because, well, the steel and the nitrogen, because we're already bringing steel down here to run this stuff. But for our new build, we're going to do all that on site. Okay, we're going to do it all part of the steel builds, which means I need to import steel for other steel projects, and we're going to import the liquid nitrogen ready to go. Also need to assign that diggy boy to there. All right, so then that means I need to bring in liquid nitrogen. Now we already know we need steel at top. Steel is going to come in basically on this belt here. So around about this belt here, don't know, not exactly sure where, we'll work it out later. We're going to bring in liquid nitrogen. It's going to slide between all these machines and into here. So we know we're going to have liquid nitrogen. It's going to come in and it's going to plug in there and it's going to plug in there. Okay, that's the wrong connection. Avatar. Cool. All right, that's going to bring in our liquid nitrogen. Okay, after we have liquid nitrogen and everything else, we do want to get lab equipment number 3. Okay, that's going to be the new one we're going to need, which we make 12. You use, we make 2 lots of 12. You use 12 apiece, so I need 2 of these guys, which you're going to need to have this. Whoop. Slide down to that tile. Which you're going to need to have that bit of lab equipment and that bit of lab equipment. Plus, they're going to need to get glass. So we already know we need for construction part 1. I need iron, wood, and concrete slabs, which are obviously going to come in from here somewhere. Wood ultimately down from here. Iron ultimately from an iron smelter here because we're going to do steel above. And concrete, well, concrete's on a belt. We'll just have to shove that in where it happens to line up between the 2 smelters. Also going to need to bring in glass. Glass is currently over here. So I also need to get in glass through one of these gaps. Conveniently, we have plenty of room. So we're going to go to height 2 and run this straight across. Nope, straight across those 2 belts. And then once we're there, we're going to drop down to height number 1 and run straight over everybody's outputs and plug that in there and that in there. Okay, so that's glass. Great. That's liquid nitrogen. And that. And that are the 2 outputs that are going to go into labs. Now, we're not using that science yet. We're still using the earlier tier of science. We're still using lab equipment too. This is why I want to finish all the science before we rebuild the labs. But we do need to rebuild the labs because I'm going to be moving them over here. All right, so if we're rebuilding the labs, can we find buildings? New lab, new pretty lab. Okay, new pretty lab. We're going to build, I don't know where, but I'm going to assume it's going to be about here. 1, 2, and a 3rd one down here. It's going to be a very long build. Or we might go across. I don't know. Haven't decided. But one other thing that we haven't built yet is maintenance. I need a lot of maintenance. Maintenance has been a problem. You know what? Can I just move you guys? All right, maintenance. Maintenance requires, going back 8 steps, needed the electronics and also the mechanical parts. And that goes into a maintenance building. Now, maintenance building now has a recyclables portal at the back because we're going to add recycling to everything. This is why one of the reasons I'm rebuilding everything, because we're going to put a recycling center over here. Okay, so this is going to come down, and we're going to go to, I don't know, about there. And this is also going to come down, and we're going to go to about here. Sure. Which means my lab, I want to make sure that I have enough room between my labs, 3 of them, in. Cool. And continue that belt on a little bit. All right. I want to make sure I have enough room between my labs and my maintenance buildings. 1 and 2. Yep. To bring out my recyclables, because they also will start producing recyclables. In fact, if we zoom back over here, they already have a whole bunch of recyclables, which we've never picked up. We don't need to pick them up. They keep running no matter what, but they have recyclables that we should be dealing with, and we're choosing not to. So, what I want to do is I want to make sure I have... I need to enable that recipe, right? There we go. I need to make sure that we have room for the recyclables to come out the rear. We're not going to run that recipe right yet. We're going to run that one. But it means that I need to go from there. You should work. Why for you be difficult? I just need you to put a little box on there. Fine, we'll do another one. That's not going to work. Okay, we'll copy that. Paste that there, because that'll plug those in. We will... Oh, I've turned the recipe off, that's why. Okay. Now you have the recipe on. Can I build that belt? No. You're going to still be difficult. Alright, cancel that. Run that out. Run that. Oh, you're being really stubborn. Is it because the lab's in the way? Surely no. Oh, it's because I don't have F mode on. And it won't build in front of the other port. Alright, fine. Sort of what I wanted anyway. Alright, I want this in its entirety. So I can remove that in its entirety. Okay, so we can go 2, 3, 4. They're all plugged in, yes. Okay, I need to put my lab back there. We need to put a connector, which I should be able to copy and paste and click. Yep, put a connector right there. Next lab would go here. Same story, bring this down, feed that in there. Grab a connector and plug that in there. You don't need that connector. That was maybe too many connectors. Cancel. Cancel. Okay. And in theory, put a third lab. I don't think I'm going to fit a third lab. I think the third lab's going to end up being on this side, and we'll just carry the recyclables belt around. But that's actually... Everybody. Now we can do this. Pick up and move. Alright. Third one. Third lab. Third lot. You... haven't lit up your port? There you go. And plug that now. Okay, so that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maintenance buildings. 5 maintenance buildings doing 480 maintenance each is what? About 2,500. Do I want a 6th? But we don't have to build it. We can just leave it in pause mode forever. Can I plug that belt in there that failed to copy and paste because I missed it entirely? That's going to be our plan. Okay, which is going to give us a whole bunch of recyclables. Now, recyclables are going to go into waste management, a waste sorting plant, which we need to bring over here. We're going to be doing waste management sorting right here. Okay, now, what haven't we plugged in yet? So this is done going from our original list. We have electronics, we've dealt with those. We have mechanical parts, we've dealt with those. We have maintenance, we just dealt with that. We have construction parts 1, 2, and 3, all located in the one spot. We have decided where steel is going to come in. We've decided that iron, wood, and bricks need to come in here. We have decided, but we haven't built it yet, that rubber needs to come in about here somewhere. So rubber's currently made there. So that'll actually be routed across and in. Or maybe we could actually automate, because at the moment we're moving the sulfur across. We could, if we have room, which I don't really. No, I don't really. It's too risky to try and convince the belts to go the direction I want and still overflow the way I want. Make rubber here and then ship it across. Also, we're about to have multiple sources of sulfur, so that's less of an issue. So we're either going to keep making rubber here. We will need to expand it. We're going to need to increase it by a lot. Or we will maybe move it closer, because it only requires the pipe of naphtha to be brought across. Okay, so rubber needs to come in. It needs to plug into this pipe. Our liquid nitrogen needs to come in and plugged into which belt? This belt. This belt. That belt. So we have rubber coming in here, liquid nitrogen coming here, we have copper coming here, the top one, we have glass coming in the bottom one, I have steel coming in here. That's going to be rough for the plan. Ooh. Now the question is, smelters. Smelters. Do we start upgrading smelters at the same time, or do we leave that for the next episode? Because obviously I cannot decommission this until part of this is running. And as you can see, there are no storage boxes to bring things in. The plan was to turn off one and turn on the other. But we spent a whole episode designing. We need a refresher. We need to have a moment. We need to think. We need to clear our minds, which means in the next episode, we're going to come back. We'll actually start going through the process of building all this. We'll get a little bit more research done. Also, we're going to start ripping down and replacing smelters. Because iron needs to go here, it means I need to have this area clear. I also need to bring steel down and put steel where iron is. So I can't do anything about those two. So next episode, we're going to come in. We're going to upgrade the copper smelter. We're going to upgrade the glass smelter. We're probably going to start playing with the recycling. Pause and pause. And then we can turn on this side, plug this in, set up some temporary storage, and then we can remove this and then go through the process of very, very delicately rebuilding iron and rebuilding iron, then rebuilding steel. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of episodes, but I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the very next episode in a day or two's time, where we go through and we thoroughly rebuild and upgrade everything. All right, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.